My name is Mike, and we lost our son almost 10 years ago. No question about that. Especially in the very beginning, it's like you're the dad, and how could this happen to my son, who was a bright, successful, extremely well liked young man. You always hear the saying, "Had the world by the tail." He was a licensed real estate broker, was building a spec house, was building his own home, and just loved by all his friends and peers. And so how could this happen? How could my son get to a point to where he took his life? What did I do wrong? What did I miss? I'm the dad, I'm supposed to be able to fix things, I'm supposed to be able to see things. And yeah, the guilt was huge in the very beginning.
You or your family?
Again, that was in the very beginning, absolutely. And still even today, when people that you haven't seen in a long time, you have to tell your story again. Or how many children do you have, Mike? Well, we have 4 children. And well, what do they do? And you get to the point to where, well, Michael, is not with us anymore. And then you have to make a decision on whether you go into the suicide or he just, passed away. And so you guard yourself because the emotions of what you want to say at that point in time, and maybe what you don't want to say. But it's always difficult to talk about it, and because, well, I can tell you, for the first year we didn't want to see anybody. For the first 2 months, I really didn't come to work much for the first month and a half, because I did not want to see anybody. I'd come to my office at night and do the work I needed to get done, and go home and hide during the day, and we would shop out of town and get our hair cut out of town, and go away. We just didn't want to see anybody because we did not want to talk about it. A lot because it was so emotionally difficult, so gut-wrenching. But the other side of that was the embarrassment. What are people thinking? How could this happen in the Bratton household? What did they do wrong? What's really going on inside those walls? And so, yeah, you have that feeling, and it's really difficult. But again, over time, I can tell you that those feelings will subside. I don't think they'll ever leave you, but they subside, and it can get better. That's part of the turkey trot. We do a turkey trot every year, and we just finished our 10th one, and it's on Thanksgiving morning. And we started it 10 years ago, Nevada Union High School here in Grass Valley, and we had 600 people the first year, and this year we got almost 3,000, or a hair over 3,000 people that participate either in the run or the walk, or just showing up to see what's going on, and knowing that it is an event that talks about depression and talks about suicide. And I get to speak for 5 minutes, which is a very short time, but I have everybody's attention because it is emotional, and they know that. And they give me their attention, and I get to let them know about depression, and encourage them to understand and know more. And if they know somebody that's depressed, or if they're depressed, go talk about it. Don't hide it. And so it's just become a big event here in the community, and so well supported. And every year we have several people that walk up to me that say, or my wife, or one of my kids, and that say, I'm in that state, and your message last year encouraged me to go get help, and I'm getting help, and it's changed my life. Every year we have somebody that just lost somebody to suicide that come up to us, and we end up getting into a good conversation, and usually meeting later. And every year we get asked to go speak at different events, whether it's Boy Scouts or service clubs or schools, or just go sit in somebody's living room that just lost somebody, or Mike, my son is, or daughter, or father, or mother, or whatever, is just really in a bad spot. What should I do? And so we're able to talk and help, and I guess maybe in the big picture, Michael's life has saved many other lives, and so that's what we hold on to. But you know what? It's part of the grieving and healing process for us. There's no question about it. It's just another, like I always say, I wished I weren't doing it in this format, or for Michael. I wish we were doing it for Nevada Union football solely. I wished I were not doing this interview right now. But at the same point in time, there is a reason, and I know this is also part of the grieving, process. You can't hide forever. You do need to talk about it. You need to maybe get therapy, or statistically speaking, if a marriage, if a husband and wife lose a son to suicide or a daughter to suicide, their marriage the percentages of divorce go up, exponentially. And with Robin and I, we probably are closer than we've ever been today because of our faith, because we got help, because we read a lot, we learned a lot, and because we are now giving back. I don't think there's more than a 15-second period that I don't think of Michael. There are times, there are just certain places in the community where I guess I will be. I know that Michael should be there, and that brings it right back. His picture's on my desk. I see it, every 2 seconds probably. His picture's behind me. He's always there. He's still a part of our life. I carry a coin in my pocket that we had made actually that has Michael's picture on it, and it's also my. I use it in golf to mark the ball, and so it's celebrating the life of Michael Edward Bratton, and then it talks about on the back. It talks about some verses in the Bible, and so that's just it's always with me. So he's never far. And so there are probably a lot of people that focus on, well, Michael Bratton was a good guy when he took his life. We don't focus on that. We focus on the years that we had with him, and the joy and the wonderful things that we got to do with him, and the years we got to spend with him. And the last minute of his life was something that wasn't Michael. It wasn't Michael's nature to do that. It wasn't Michael's, it was just something that he lost control of because unfortunately he didn't get the right kind of help in understanding depression and knowing that his future would have been filled with hope if we could have gone down a different path. And so I guess no, I don't go there. I just again, what he did was not right. We certainly never ever want anything we do to honor his suicide. We want to honor his life of how wonderful a young man he was, and educate people on there is hope, there is help. Well, you don't prepare for something like this. You don't prepare, you prepare for your parents dying when they get older. You prepare for somebody that's sick, that's dying, and you understand that that's inevitably going to happen. You don't prepare for a suicide. And so when that happens, it's just like somebody hitting you over the head with a 2x4. It hurts. It hurts so bad and so deeply. And so you really don't know what to do, other than a lot of things we've talked about the feelings of guilt, the feelings of what could I have done, the feelings of what are people thinking, the feelings of what am I going to do now, or what are my kids feeling, what's my wife feeling, how can I even perform, go to work, do whatever. And so all of that hits you immediately, and so reading, therapy, your faith, your pastor, your family, your friends, coming alongside of you and being there for you is extreme. And you always see that when somebody dies, they have the week of grieving, and you have the service, and everybody goes home, and so life is supposed to be happy again. That's not the case. It's a long period of time, and so those friends and those family need to continue to be a part of that healing process for you and for them as well. And so it doesn't stop at the end of a week or the end of a month or the end of a year. It's a continual thing, and so I guess you need to talk about it. You need to express your feelings and possibly continued counseling. But if nothing else, continued bringing up the subject, bringing up the person that's lost. And so we do that in our household a lot. We talk about Michael all the time, and we laugh about things that were funny, and we cry about things, but we certainly continue to talk about Michael. And so we're not going to let that memory go. That's kind of what we do. So I guess my message is, you need to know more about depression, and you don't need to hide depression. Depression is a normal sickness, that mental health that we deal with, and mental health is not a negative term. It's something that we need to understand, we need to get help for, just like we do for high blood pressure or diabetes. It's no different. And so in knowing more, that's part of the guilt I have today. If we would have known more, possibly Michael would have gotten more help, and he'd be sitting here married and with kids, and it'd be wonderful. But it's not the case. So part of encourage people to know more about depression and to talk about it and to learn about it and to share it with other people. And certainly because now you're in this situation, don't hide it, because you're in a position now to where you can help somebody else.